Cubs baseball here today. Nice win last night, and should be a fun one. Big crowds expected the rest of the weekend.
I was popping around the ballpark earlier today. Every vendor, every usher, every fan I crossed said, what a great day for baseball. Finally, a beautiful day, picture-perfect day here at Wrigley Field. So good weather to go on top of all this great baseball the Cubs have been playing.
You like to do the three-star selection. Kyle Hendricks fits in that mix last night, and we'll talk about the other two guys, starting with Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, Zobrist, a little bit of a slow start, but he's such a seasoned pro. You know the numbers were going to turn around for him. That's why the Cubs signed him to a 4-year deal, even though he's been in the league a long time, because you just trust him. You know what kind of a player he is. He's very versatile. Talked about his ability to play all over the field. Now the bat is starting to heat up. Had the big 3-run homer in Pittsburgh the other night. Last night, a 2 RBI single, and then the 2-run home run there. Big swing of the bat by Zobrist. So the numbers much improved for the veteran. You see through the first 21 games, 250 with a 731 OPS last 4, hitting over 300 OPS. Up over 1,000
with 10 runs knocked in. So he'll be in the lineup playing second. Javier Baez plays short for Addison Russell. Tommy La Stella hits good pitching, and he's going to face a good one today. He was great last night.
Yeah, he was. And Joe Ross, who worked for the Nationals last night, his repertoire kind of similar to Max Scherzer, who we'll see today. So it makes perfect sense to have La Stella in there. He can handle velocity. You know, Ross was throwing 94, 95, had that good hard slider. Unfazed was Tommy La Stella. He had 4 bullets last night, 3 for 4, a double. The only time they got him out was a solid line drive to right field.
Time now for greater coverage, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile, and the Cubs starting rotation leading the majors at 2.12, and man, you'd love for this to continue. And speaking of the run differential, Cubs are nearing plus 100. Joe Maddon said that's about the starting pitching. It's one thing to score runs, but the starters aren't giving up any.
No, they are not. And just to give some perspective, that ERA, the comparison to 1918, remember that was dead ball era stuff, where the league ERA back then was 2.77. This group is 2 runs better than league average.
Unbelievable. Max Scherzer faces the Cubs today. Our Kelly Krall caught up with him yesterday, and you will hear that conversation coming up next, and it'll be John Lackey for the Cubs.
comes the hook. Got him! 20 strikeouts. He ties the Major League record. Unbelievable.
The rookie, Kerry Wood, with 20 strikeouts on this date 18 years ago. And congrats, 30 years playing the Oregon here at Wrigley Field. Gary Pressey and his mom, Virginia, watches every game, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch to Justin Grimm. Time now for our Coors Light game report with Kelly Kroll.
Thanks a lot, Len. Well, Max Scherzer going for the Nationals today. Their ace, one of the most dominant pitchers in the game, and certainly likes coming to Wrigley Field. In 19 innings pitched here, only given up 3 earned runs, but he knows he's got a tall task in front of him with this potent Cubs offense, and he's looking forward to the challenge.
As a player, you always want to face the best. I mean, this is what makes baseball fun, to be able to come in here and face a hot team and try to beat them. And it's going to be a difficult task for us, but we should have fun this weekend.
Tell me about that challenge. What do you think of this lineup when you see the guys that you're going to face top to bottom?
I mean, like you said, from top to bottom, you have guys that can, at any pitch, take you deep. And that just, as a pitcher, just makes you be on your own, to just have to go out there and mentally be locked in the whole time to make sure that all your pitches end up in the right spot, because you make one mistake against these guys, they're going to make you pay. And that's what makes it fun, is to face good teams like this, is that you have to be so mentally locked in to go out there and compete against them.
Max, you've always said this is one of your favorite stops along the way, being in Chicago, being here at Wrigley. The fans right now are packing this place, okay? For you, that has to be great to get out there on the hill and be like, man, this is what it's all about.
It really is. When you have all the fans out there, and you get like a second and third situation, and everybody's booing against you. Like it's awesome to be able to go out there and have success in that situation. So I mean, because we're on a 10-day road trip right now, and we're all kind of joking about, like, we enjoy actually playing on the road sometimes almost more, because you have everybody against you, and it's a great feeling when you can actually make everybody shut up. But it's tough going to make this crowd to shut up.
There, you heard, we're bringing out the competitor, they're bringing out the competitor in you. Now,
right.
I know your team off to a tremendous start as well. What can you say about the run support you've had and what your guys are doing, as well as your pitching staff right now?
I don't know, every time it seems like we win, everybody has a piece to do with it. We're getting great starting pitching right now from everybody. Bullpen's doing their job, and their offense, it just seems like everybody at some point in time catches that torch and just keeps passing it along. And we're just playing great team baseball. And that's what, with Dusty here, we just have a great manager who just understands us and has us playing loose. And that's what makes baseball fun, is when everybody has a piece in the win.
That's exactly where I was going to go. The difference of culture with Dusty Baker on running this team this year. Explain how that's changed things for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have a different culture because your manager is your biggest leader. He provides your leadership towards your team, to your veterans, and that's just kind of how a team works. And his leadership style just has us playing easy and loose and just believing in each other. And any situation we face, we always believe we can overcome it. And it's a great feeling to have when you get to the early season results to kind of reaffirm what he talks about.
Seems very similar to what I hear guys say in the Cubs clubhouse about Joe Madden. Now, you've never played for Joe, but you've seen from the outside. Do you think there are comparisons between what he and Dusty and the culture they try to bring with them and the way they want guys to just be themselves? Do you think there's a comparison?
I think obviously they have different managerial styles, but the results are kind of the same. The players, love playing for them. They feel loose when they play underneath them, and you've been able to see that from any team that Joe has managed, but the Rays and the Cubs. So he always seems to have a good time, and really good time with all of his players, and everybody seems to have fun with him as well.
Well, last but certainly not least, I know because you guys are represented by the same agent, and being the pitcher that you are, I know you have to appreciate the kind of season Jake Arrieta had last year and what he's doing already this year. But when you watch a guy like that, what do you say from afar? Oh man.
It's impressive. To watch him go out there and compete, and really do it with the array of pitches that he has, and just to be consistent. I mean, being consistent at this level is just so hard. And watch him get locked in and be able to do it start after start after start. I just know how hard that is. And so for him to be on this role as another pitcher, it's fun to watch.
Well, Max, thank you so much. I'm going to throw out a little MIZ so that you can finish it off here for me.
That's right, ZOU.
All right, guys, Max Scherzer, back to you.
Good stuff, Kelly. As Max Scherzer will face John Lackey in an excellent matchup on the mound. It's time now for our national anthem. Wayne Messmer getting ready.
At this time, please remain standing and join Wayne Messmer as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Moments away from Game 2 of this 4-game set. The Cubs just announced their minor league player and pitcher of the month for April. We've talked about infielder Chesney Young at AA Tennessee, off to a great start, just 23 years old. And right-hander Paul Blackburn, he's just 22. He went 3-0 in 5 starts in April, allowed 1 earned run in 31 innings of work. Double play combo today, Zobrist and Baez. Let's hear from Joe Madden singing both praises.
You see it. You've all been around him. You see it, and how consistent his play is. And then what it does is everybody else sees it, especially the young guys. And so this the residual positive impact just by being around him to young players and players in general. It is hard to quantify. I mean, he's this thing that spreads in a manner. It's almost like a good virus the way he is, and he just has always been that way. I mean, his defense is, it's really different in a good way. Zoe was a shortstop, and we took him off shortstop, and then went to the outfield / second base, kind of like worked a little second base outfield with him, which really is kind of like his abilities are conducive to that. I'm not saying that Javi can't be that. Of course he can be. But I think you might eventually just want him to nail down a spot, I think, probably in the middle of the field somewhere, because he could really contribute more there normally. But for right now, I love where he is at regarding this Super U kind of an attitude.
Good stuff from Joe Madden. And speaking of good stuff, how about these two guys?
Yeah, a couple of quality veterans. These guys ranked first and second last year in the league in first pitch strikes. They really get after you. Scherzer was #1 in that regard. He's dropped off a little bit this year. Lackey, that's his game plan. It pounds the strike zone. And you see Scherzer has been very comfortable here at Wrigley Field. He's pitched 3 times. He's pitched scoreless baseball twice. There's a .42 ERA. John Lackey coming off an outstanding start last time out against the Braves.
2 best records in all of baseball. The 21-6 Cubs, the 19-9 Nationals. Will have Game 2 of the series on a glorious day next. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Weather heating up. Cubs come in having won 4 in a row as they host the Nationals. Game 2 of a 4-game series. John Lackey will pitch for the Cubs today against right-hander Max Scherzer for the Nationals. And let's get right into Dusty Baker's lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Held to 2 runs on 3 hits last night after putting up 19 runs on 28 hits the previous 2 days combined. They're happy to have Ben Revere, their leadoff man, back in their lineup off the DL today. Rendon, Harper, Zimmerman 2 through 4. Daniel Murphy, second in the league in batting. Jason Worth homered last night in the 9th. Wilson Ramos, the catcher. Danny Espinosa at short. And Scherzer off to a good start with the bat. Will hit 9th.
Cubs defensively, Chris Bryant in left field today. He's making his 12th start of the year. In the outfield, he's made 15 starts at third base. Fowler ejected in the ballgame last night. Back in center, Jason Hayward gets a start. Hopefully that wrist is good to go. Listella Baez on the left side of the infield as Addison Russell gets a day off. Zoe and Rizzo on the right side, and David Ross is behind the plate for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. The big tall Texan, John Lackey, 3-1 with a 4.32 ERA. He's made 5 starts. League hits .237 against him. And as I mentioned, he gets after it. High percentage of first pitch strikes, and he's willing to challenge a big part of the plate early on.
It's John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, back of the plate. Clint Fagan at first. DJ Rayburn will be spinning some records downtown after this one. He's at second. Vic Carapazza is at third. This is the only matinee. Everything else, as per usual on a Friday, under the lights. So the game of the day, the game of the world, and we are underway. Ball 1 to Ben Revere, and we not only welcome our CSN Chicago viewers, but also those watching in Canada, Rogers Sportsnet, across the U.S. coast to coast on the MLB Network, and around the world on the American Forces Network and ESPN UK. There's a strike, 1-2. Revere activated today. He got hurt on opening day, strained oblique, missed 27 games. And he strikes out. He's 0 for 3 to start the season.
He's in a deep slump. Fastball, curve, slider, change for Lackey. Good breaking ball here. Very good depth on that pitch. A slurvy breaking ball there to get the swing and miss. His best games have been when he's used his curveball a fair bit. That was certainly the case last time out. 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. And he only used the 99 pitches to get through those 8 innings against Atlanta. Got a no decision. The Braves won that one 4-3 in 10.
A little John Lackey edge sprinkled in, as it appeared he didn't appreciate a bunt attempt by Kelly Johnson, and later when he was at the plate he had a long conversation with the Braves catcher Tyler Flowers. 1-1 on Anthony Rendon.
He started that ball game with 4 no-hit innings, and that's the thing when you watch Lackey pitch. I talked about how aggressive and efficient he is. He has a lot of clean innings.
Inside to Rendon. Cubs winning 5-2 last night. It was a shutout into the 9th before Jason Worth hit a 2-out 2-run homer off Travis Wood. In again.
Yeah, and you see him drop down that arm angle every now and then to get a little extra run, whether he's trying to run it away from the lefty or in on the hands of a right-handed hitter.
The wind and the 3-1 pitch is hit foul and out of play. One thing for the defenders to remember today, the wind will keep some foul balls possibly in play because it's blowing straight out of the southwest at 9 miles an hour.
This might be the first hitter's day of the year here.
Yeah.
Rendon, a very important piece of this Nationals lineup. He's off to a slow start, hitting just a .223. They need to find a way to get more base runners on in front of Bryce Harper.
High drive out into deep left center. Bryant is on the track, and it's gone. Rendon with a home run, second batter of the game, and it's 1-0.
Fourth home run allowed by Lackey this year, second of the year for Rendon. He said, well, never mind getting on base for Harper. I'll just take matters into my own hands. Trying to go away with the fastball, and you see it drifts over the inner third. Good compact swing for Rendon.
Fourth allowed by Lackey this year. And here's Bryce Harper as the Nationals have their first lead of the series. Harper was 1 for 1 with 3 walks. And this would be the first out he has made in the set as he grounds to Zobrist.
Yeah, expect to see the Nationals swinging early because of Lackey's reputation. You know, they look at the scouting reports and the video. They know how aggressive he is. So Harper, who walked 3 times last night, up there ready to swing. He got a pitch out over the heart of the plate, just didn't do much with it.
Now the cleanup man, Ryan Zimmerman.
One of the things you have to admire about Lackey, he does not let that home run affect him at all.
We use the term it's not his first rodeo, considering he likes to wear cowboy hats and cowboy boots. And they play I've got friends in low places when he takes them out. I think it's an appropriate phrase for John, the Texan.
Gunslinger mentality out there.
0-2.
You know, a lot of guys, after giving up the home run to the number 2 hitter, Bryce Harper steps up there, the 42 home run guy last year, and he just pumps a fastball right over the heart of the plate.
Thought he had strike 3. There were some issues with Vic Carpatz's strike zone. Last night, Dexter Fowler got ejected for the first time in his career as a result. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Rendon with a home run as Lackey continues to chat with Hirschbeck. Cubs are coming up. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. And now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Fowler, Hayward, Bryant, followed by Rizzo, Zobrist, and La Stella. Big couple of games for Ben. Javi Baez in for Addison Russell. The battery goes 8 and 9. Ross and Lackey.
Nationals, good club defensively. They've only committed 9 errors all year. That's in Major League Baseball. Worth, Revere, Harper in the outfield. Rendon, Espinosa, Murphy, Zimmerman third to first. Wilson Ramos, strong arm behind the plate, and the Alexis starting pitcher for the Nats here today. Hard-throwing right-hander Max Scherzer.
6'3", 210. He's 31 years old. In the St. Louis area. Maxwell M. Scherzer.
Oh, now you got Get Smart in my head. Hop to it, Jaime. He'll max out around 97, 98, sit comfortably at 94. And he, like Lackey, typically very aggressive. And got a pretty good piece of Ramos. It's not a good way to start your Friday afternoon. Ooh. I guess the best news for him is it's not his throwing arm. Scherzer also with a swing and miss slider, changeup and a curveball. So both these pitchers, you know, they attack with the fastball, but they have a 4-pitch mix, and they'll use all those secondary pitches.
Second year with the Nationals. Threw 2 no-hitters last year and had quite a stretch of dominant performances. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fowler, who snapped a streak last night. 6-game streak of reaching base to start a game. His on base average 520. He's gotten on more often than not to start a game. And again, after taking his second called 3rd strike in the 3rd inning, he got kicked out for the first time in his life, any level. He'd never been ejected from a baseball game. We'll get back out of play.
I would say most guys' first career ejection comes as a major leaguer. Maybe as a minor leaguer. It shouldn't happen before that. Can't put up with that kind of behavior as an amateur. Of course, his behavior wasn't all that untoward last night. It looked like he was just trying to have a conversation.
So Scherzer strikes him out.
And apparently the conversation went a little too long for Vic Carapazza. So Scherzer gets his man with that elevated fastball. 9th season, 31 years of age, 108 wins against 63 losses. He's been an all-star each of the last 3 seasons. Cy Young Award in 13. And one of just 5 pitchers to throw 2 no-hitters in the same season.
Now Jason Hayward, first start since Sunday. 0 for 2 in his return to action last night. Came in to replace Fowler after he was ejected. And Jason trying to snap an 0 for 19. Swing and a miss. Still looking for his first home run. Yeah, Scherzer's not a one-trick pony. He's got several plus pitches that he could put you away with. It's June 20th of last year against the Pirates. First no-hitter came within 1 batter of a perfect game. Remember, we were in Minnesota. It was after our day game when we were watching it on the iPhone. 2-2.
Who got him?
He hit Jose Tabata.
Oh, that's right, he hit Tabata.
With 2 outs in the ninth. That was the Pirates' only base runner. The start before that, a complete game, 1-hit shutout with 16 strikeouts and 1 walk. And while that didn't match Johnny Vandermeer's back-to-back no-hitters, it could be argued he was better because of the Vandermeer walks. Two of the back-to-back dominating starts. Hard to top what Scherzer did in June of last year, and then October 3rd, his second no-hitter. That was at the Mets. So Hayward's on. Here's Chris Bryant.
He struck out 276 batters last year. He was the second best in Major League Baseball. Those other two no-hitter guys in the same season, by the way, you mentioned Vandermeer, Allie Reynolds in 51, Virgil Trucks in 52, and of course Nolan Ryan did it in 1973. Arrieta will likely do it in 2016.
Good lead by Hayward. Bryant with an 11-game hitting streak. He's playing left. And I'm going to underscore the Scherzer stretch last June. Okay, June 14th, complete game, one hitter, 16 strikeouts. Next game, retires 26 in a row, hits a batter, gets the next guy for a no-hitter. The start after that, June 26th, 5 perfect innings to start that game. Top that, Jim DeShades.
That's Christy Mathewson-like.
Bryant fouls back. And there was no talk about him as the Cy Young because of Arrieta, Kershaw, and Greinke.
Yeah.
Scherzer finished 5th behind Arrieta, Greinke, Kershaw, and Garrett Cole. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Right-handed batters hitting just .215 against Scherzer this year. Kind of like Joe Ross last night, you figure it's up to the lefties to get some damage done. Not to say that the right-handed hitters can't. Just missed flying one out of here last night, and it's a ball like that today, it will go.
Scherzer with quick feet, and then he just tossed it over to first.
Yeah, he works really hard at controlling the running game too. He'll hold the ball, tries to very scientific approach in terms of the timing of his delivery home. He's the first guy I've ever heard talk about actually practicing that in his bullpen sessions, his side work. Most guys go down to your work and you throw a bunch from the full windup, then you come set, and you work from the set position. But when he's doing that work, he'll actually vary his times with his delivery home just to get used to doing that, so it doesn't feel funky when he gets into a game situation.
Very smart. A swing and a miss for out number 2. So 3 batters in, no balls in play, 2 strikeouts and a walk, and now Anthony Rizzo. Hitless and reached on an intentional walk last night. Gets by and allows Hayward to advance to second. Passed ball charged to Ramos.
Ramos, as I mentioned, has a strong throwing arm, but that's his best attribute back there. He's not a great receiver, particularly agile. He can hit. There's a lot of offense to the position.
1-1 on Anthony. Another Anthony in this game, Rendon, with a home run in the top of the first inning.
Is that a call? Is that a prediction? It's going to be a big day for Anthony's here today.
The Nationals' 40th first inning run in 29 games. Heard Scherzer on a pregame coverage chatting with Kelly Kroll, talking about this great challenge of facing a team that is leading the majors in runs per game. Three and one.
Yeah, two things about this lineup that any pitcher has to deal with. One, the patience. You work a lot of walks, force you to throw a lot of pitches, and two, the power, and the power throughout the lineup. It's a lot of stress on a pitcher, even one as good as Scherzer.
He's got a base open. He's also got a really hot hitter on deck in Ben Zobrist.
You know, he may not give in here to Rizzo, but I think that would be just a byproduct of his approach. Not so much that he's worried about, you know, taking advantage of that base open situation.
To Murphy, and shallow right, and the inning is over as Hayward is stranded at second. 1-0 Washington after an inning. On CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Huge crowd on a beautiful day, 73 degrees. 1-0 Nationals. Daniel Murphy out toward the alley, and that ball will one-hop the wall. And it's a leadoff double. Just before I was going to give you this note, in the first inning this season, the Nationals hitting about 350, and they've put up 40 runs. In the second inning, they're hitting a $121, and now a $120 with that hit.
Yeah, well,
and have scored 1 run.
All those productive first innings probably leads to 8-9-1 batting in the second inning. Murphy, that swing right there, that's the new and improved Daniel Murphy. He's always been a high average line drive hitter. Now a little more uppercut in that swing and hitting for power. And he too attacked that first pitch. So we'll see if Lackey makes an adjustment. It's a risk reward thing for a pitcher. To challenge early, you can get some quick outs, minimize the pitch count, but give up some damage too.
Especially with that wind blowing out. 2 strikes on Worth. Going into today, Murphy was at 382, second in the major leagues, and now he's up to 388. And I'm going to ask you if you know who the top hitter average wise is. Worth strikes out.
Slide ball.
Top hitter in the big leagues in terms of batting average, and number 3 on the list. So Murphy was second 382. The top guy's 383. Number 3, 381. I will give you a
Joe
dollar.
Mauer.
No. I might give you 25 guesses, and I don't think you'd get it.
I have to wait for the Sunday paper to come out so I can look at the batting averages.
Nick Castellanos of the Tigers is number 1, or was. And Aledmys Diaz of the Cardinals,
Diaz I
number
should have
3.
gotten. He's atop the leaderboard in a lot of categories. That's a fun game. You
Ramos takes strike 1.
We've got to prep some of those for our next replay challenge.
Okay. Ramos 0 for 4 last night. He came in at 343.
He likes to swing the stick. Hardly ever walks.
I was thinking, if you put together a composite of every major league hitter's stance, what would it look like? What would the average major league hitter's stance in terms of where his hands are and where his feet are? I was just watching Ramos. I'm guessing most guys would be a little open, right? Ground ball toward the middle. Baez with a nice pick. And no tag. Rizzo thinks he got him. Clint Fagan said no. And we could see a challenge here, as it is 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Yeah, Anthony feels like he brushed his shoulder on the way by. So Madden's going to take a couple minutes to decide whether to challenge or not. Let's see what we can discern here.
Can't tell
Nothing
there. Can't tell there.
You know, if we had an honesty policy in baseball, we could move this along. You know, Ramos says, yeah, he got me. So no challenge forthcoming. Base hit for Ramos.
So 1st and 3rd, here's Danny Espinosa. So anyway, what Ramos was doing, I think, would be kind of close to what a lot of guys do these days.
Yeah, maybe just a little less open, but I agree, a little bit open.
I used to see a lot more closed stances decades ago, and when we see a guy with a closed stance now, it really stands out. Espinosa is a switch hitter.
Yeah, you can't rule out the bunt here. He's hitting a .183, so obviously not seeing it real well. He's always been a guy capable of dropping down a bunt for a base hit. Scherzer on deck. He's swinging a little bit. Espinosa might be hearing footsteps. They got a kid down in AAA, Trey Turner. Pretty good looking shortstop prospect that's off to a very good start. Their AAA club in Syracuse.
Two hits in the inning. And Espinosa held up on a pitch in the dirt.
John Lackey's had a heck of a career. 168 wins as a big leaguer.
Another one blocked by Ross.
Here's a good factoid for you. John Lackey is one of 7 active pitchers who've started a game against the Expos.
I figure Bartolo Colon pitched for them. He's one of those guys. Caught strike 3. Big second out for Lackey.
Couldn't get Espinosa to chase that breaking ball down, so he drops down and slings that fastball up. That little come on back to the inside corner heater. A situation that called for contact. Espinosa not able to pull the trigger. Great pitch.
4 strikeouts for Lackey. Now it is Scherzer. .99 in his career and a base hit. That will send Murphy to the plate. 2-0. Scherzer with his 7th career RBI, and 3 of those have come this season.
Well, that's been part of the Cubs' success. Their pitchers have done a nice job offensively. Scherzer talked about his abilities. He delivers.
The ball hit pretty well, but Fowler will make the catch on the move to retire Revere. 3 hits and a run. Nationals with just their second inning run of the season, leading 2-0.
Back to Wrigley Field. This is your Coors Light in-game report. Max Scherzer just put the Nationals in front 2-0 using the bat. Of course, known for his dangerous arms, and by many fans also known for the 2 different colored eyes. And his wife Erica and he just had added a new member to their family last month. This is Rocco, a rescue dog who also has 1 blue eye and 1 brown eye. Talking to Max yesterday, he says this guy fits right in with their family and certainly makes him feel comfortable. But that's something, guys, that Max has obviously gotten a lot of attention for. Even in college, I went to Mizzou with him, and in our bookstore, they sold glasses that had different colored lenses so fans could wear those glasses to the game when he would pitch. So Max Scherzer back out on the bump here in the second.
Thank you, Kelly. Yep, his right eye is blue, left eye is brown.
So that song, "Don't You Make My Brown Eyes Blue," that's good. How do you deal with that?
I've written that for him.
And the whole thing about dogs looking like their owner, I mean, it's spot on there.
There's Ben Zobrist. And you hope you're not facing Max Scherzer when he's really on his game, because 2 runs might be all he needs. But he's facing a good offense with the wind pushing everything toward the wall today.
Just got squeezed a little bit there with that first offering.
I was talking with Joe Madden, and I asked him what was Zobrist like as a hitter when he was 26. He said when he came up, he hit line drives, but he didn't hit for power. And went down to the minor leagues, and at one point he came back, lowered his hands, and some of those balls started getting some lift and leaving the ballpark.
Sounds like the Daniel Murphy story.
Yeah.
He's always been patient, going way back to his minor league days with the Astros. That's where he first started. Always worked a high walk rate. We've talked about it a lot. Last year, one of just a handful of players in baseball to walk more than strike out. Doing that again this year.
3-2 pitch, misses for ball 4. A couple of things about the home run last night. I loved how he politely just set the bat down instead of doing the bat flip. And as he rounded first, he almost fell down. At first glance, I thought he had run into Brandon Hyde, and he almost bit it. Brandon never even saw this until later when Zobrist said, man, I almost lost my footing. I think he was really excited, and while in slow motion, it didn't look like a big deal. But I think when Brandon put his hand out, he really hit it hard. Now LaStella with the leadoff man on base. Deep drive right field. Harper back. All he can do is watch it go. We are tied at 2.
Man, you talk about a hitter being locked in. This is impressive stuff. All night last night, and boom, here this afternoon. Boom goes LaStella. Up, down, in, out, it doesn't matter. He's squaring up everything.
Ford, a home run replay.
It's been a bit of an issue. That's the 6th home run allowed by Scherzer here in the early going.
To Baez.
That's the thing about LaStella. I think opposing teams know he's a tough out. But he's generating more power than certainly I anticipated, and I'm guessing same for the opposing teams.
Baez strikes out. Number 3 for Scherzer.
almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. Scherzer quoted in the morning paper today about pitching against his Cubs team, about how they grind out at bats and how there's dangerous hitters throughout the batting order.
David Ross. Tribune's Mark Gonzalez had a note earlier this week, quotes from both David Ross and Dusty Baker. 2008, when Dusty took over in Cincinnati, David Ross at that time was playing a lot. And had some back issues in spring training and was a part-time player, and David admits he didn't handle it too well. And even Dusty in the aftermath said, I learned some things too. He felt like he listened to too many people about playing time, and he said I needed to give him a clean slate. So they both learned from it and have become friends. And Ross told me today, I asked him about it, that those are the types of moments that really have helped him help his younger teammates. When you're not playing and you think you should, and how you handle
that. Take a little broader perspective. Communicate, ask questions.
(2-0) on Lackey. He's given up runs in the first two, but Tommy La Stella got those right back with this second inning homer.
There's a lot of managers who will say to their team, hey, my door is always open. And it may be, but it just doesn't feel that way with some managers. And the comfort level for players with certain managers, I think they just don't feel comfortable walking in there. And that's the challenge for a manager, to make sure the environment is right where guys can come in and say, hey, what's the deal, Skip?
Lackey lines one into center. So after Scherzer knocked in a run with a base hit, Lackey returns a favor with a 2-out single to keep the inning alive.
Dusty Baker is the second winningest manager in Giants history, behind Hall of Famer John McGraw by a wide margin. McGraw well over 2,000 games. He's the third winningest manager in Reds history, behind a couple Hall of Famers, Sparky Anderson and Bill McKechnie.
There's Fowler, who has struck out all 3 times to start the series. Swing and a miss. Popped up in the outfield grass. It's caught by Espinosa, and the inning is over. But Tommy La Stella getting this crowd excited with a home run to tie the game at 2.
Back, we've played 2 innings and we're tied 2-2. Folks, don't wait. Plan now. Get tickets to the matchups you want before they are gone. The Cubs take on the Padres in the 3-night game series starting this Monday. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com. The Fighting Friars are coming to town.
They beat the Mets 5-3 last night. Colin Ray had a no-hitter into the 7th. Padres still the only franchise without a no-hitter. 7,519 games going back to 1969.
Because Preston Gomez pulled his pitcher with a no-hitter.
Oh, he did?
Did it twice. I think once when managing the Padres, once managing the Astros, I think, I'm sure. I can either look it up or wait for somebody to respond on Twitter.
He was concerned about pitch counts back then?
They were actually losing. They were giving up a run on an error and they pinch hit. I believe that was tied, maybe a tie game.
Strike on Rendon. He homered into the bleachers in left center. Cap along at bat in the 1st.
That's Colin Ray, R-E-A, as opposed to the country singer Colin Ray, R-A-Y-E.
Nice distinction. I'm not familiar with his work. Is he good?
Yeah, he's good.
Fowler's got it. Made an active pitcher reference. That means John Lackey's been around for a while. And among guys still pitching, he is 5th in strikeouts, and just a couple away from 2,000.
It just doesn't seem like Felix Hernandez has been around that long. Of course, he hasn't been around as long as those other guys. I wonder how many kids, little leaguers and such, high schoolers, when they come up to bat, they're doing this little routine that Harper has. Tap, 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 toe and go.
I bet a lot.
Yeah. I'd be in my room working on that at night.
Stung. Harper's got the one batting glove on the lower hand and not on the top hand, and he needs a second. And while we wait for him to get ready, we had the note about CC Sabathia with the strikeouts. He goes to the DL. Yankees made that announcement today. Strained left groin.
Garrett Richards of the Angels, their opening day starter, done for the year. Tommy John surgery.
Still 1-2 on Harper.
In related news, Tim Lincecum is having a showcase today out in Scottsdale, and I imagine some interested scouts there from those two clubs. Climb the ladder here.
And got him.
Fifth strikeout for Lackey. The elevated heater looked too good. Piece of chocolate cake coming up there. It's bad for me. I gotta try it.
There have been studies done on the strike zone the last couple of years. Umpires in general have called more low strikes, maybe just out of what the typical strike zone is supposed to be. Last night, Dexter Fowler seemed to be asking Vic Carapazza about the vertical part of his strike zone, whether it was going to be a low or a high zone. Well, I asked a couple of people today, if you had to choose one or the other, would you want those pitches in the lower area called versus the high area? And the answer I got surprised me.
You asked pitchers or hitters?
Hitters. What do you think they said?
Probably want it down.
They did. You know why? They said that high pitch And especially with the velocity today, it's very hard to handle.
Yeah, it's a swing and miss pitch. It's a pop up.
(3-0) on Zimmerman.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's what has happened over the years. Umpires get reputations of either being a high ball guy or a low ball umpire. And I would imagine Carapazza would defend himself saying, "I'm just calling the strike zone. You determine what, I'm not fashioning myself as a high ball umpire or a low ball umpire. I'm calling what I believe the strike zone is."
(3-1) is a strike.
Remember, these umpires get graded, and so they're using technology the same as we're looking at here. So if those pitches at the top of the zone, if they're in the grid but being called balls, that's going to work against that umpire's evaluation.
(3-2) is hit out into deep right center. Fowler to the warning track. The leap, he's got it right up against the wall. Inning over. Talked in spring training, Cubs moving their outfielders back just a little bit to take away slugging, and it worked there beautifully.
Kick back and enjoy an all-new episode of Beer Money. CSN tested the sports knowledge of fans at McDivot's in Palos Park. Tune in to see who won big. Beer Money presented by Coors Light, Sunday at 7. Right here on CSN. Ken Jennings was probably roaming around over there looking to score some extra cash.
1-0 on Jason Hayward. 2-2 tie. The snap is over, but he did walk on his first trip. What a catch by Fowler to end the top of this inning. Takes a little intestinal fortitude to not shy away from the bricks, especially before the ivy is in full bloom.
If I pitched here, they would have had to outfit the outfielders with shoulder pads. They've been running into those walls so often.
Scherzer's 3-1. He's popped up behind second. And it's Espinoza. Time for our Xfinity high-speed action.
Zimmerman hits a lot of balls out there to the big part of the yard, right and left, and straightaway center field. And as you mentioned, the Cubs playing deeper this year, and it pays off. It has paid off on a number of occasions already. Sure double dies in the glove of Fowler. Big round of applause from John Lackey.
Bryant, the strikeout victim, his first time, and he looks at a strike. Last night's starter, Joe Ross, ranks third in the National League in ERA at 1.23. Tomorrow, Gio Gonzalez, the lefty, will go. He's second, 1.15. Tanner Roark, who will pitch on Sunday, is 10th. Steven Strasburg, 11th. Max Scherzer not on that list. Swing and a miss, strike three.
We talked about this great start for the Cubs and their starting pitching and all the quality starts, but just to limit it to quality starts is really doing them a disservice, because most nights it's above and beyond the definition of a quality start. They've had so many shutdown type games. Jason Hamill will trot out there tomorrow with a 1.24 ERA, and Arrieta on Sunday will take his 0.84 earned run average to the mound.
Rizzo high and deep to right. Is it going to stay fair? It is! Home run, Anthony Rizzo, as the Nationals are arguing that that ball was foul. They will take another look.
It hit the flag.
For now, it's 3-2.
And this is the ground rule I've never checked on. Yeah, if it hits the pole, it's fair. I don't know. I'm assuming the flags are too.
Well, I would say if it's in foul territory, the flag that is, that it would be foul.
Wow, this is interesting.
We'll find out.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Like a golf shot. I don't think it hit the pin, but I think it hit the cloth. Hit the laundry.
A Ford home run replay. I can't tell.
Which way is the wind blowing?
It did hit the flag.
I can't tell either.
So first the umpires will gather to talk about it. Now they're going to go to the review.
And then clearly it's not a ground rule situation. Well, I think you've seen it all.
Well, I'll tell you, on most days here early in the season, the wind pushes that ball way foul. And off the bat, I just assumed, I guess, that it would end up foul, but the wind helped keep it near fair territory. Time for our Forsythe Technology replay review.
It's the Sandberg flag.
The key part of this is that they call it a home run, and unless there's something definitive, just because it ended up landing foul is irrelevant. Because if it hit the right side of the pole, or if it would have, it should be a home run.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be very interesting to see what they determine back in the bat cave when they review this one.
I mean, on that shot right there, is there anything that would tell you anything definitive?
No, because I couldn't see it.
Well, you answered my question.
I think I think folks at home on their big screens probably have a better look than we do.
If it holds up, it'll be Rizzo's 10th.
On the playground, see, with kids, you would just call it a double. Fight over for about half an hour, and then you'd call it a double. But I think I'm kind of with you. Given that they've already ruled a home run, I don't know if they'll get a good enough look to determine otherwise. It's either home run number 10 for Anthony. Yep.
It is. It will stand.
I said it was going to be a big day for Anthony's.
Just when you think you've seen everything. I don't have anything in front of me or found anything that says anything about the flags. So this is just based on what I think is common sense. The flag should have no bearing on fair or foul. It's a foul pole. So if they had determined definitively that it hit the flag while to the right of the pole, I think it's a foul ball. Was a crew chief review. And the Cubs lead 3-2.
Timing is everything, isn't it? Just depending on which way the wind's blowing, where those flags are positioned.
Zobrist in the air to deep right, and it will go. He's got another. It's 4-2. No controversy this time.
Third home run for the Cubs today. The Nationals have won. Welcome to summertime, hitters. At least for a day. A little change up and a whole lot of bite until it ran into the barrel of Zobrist's bat. It's your Ford home run replay. Zobrist is scorching hot.
Up by La Stella, who homered his first time up. And it's caught by Rendon, and the inning is over. The Cubs go back-to-back, and they have the lead. Rizzo followed by Zobrist, and it's 4-2.
Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used items. This week's auction includes game-used items from Jake Arrieta's no-hitter against the Reds. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before 8 p.m. this Sunday to place your bid. Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Rizzo has hit his 10th. Zobrist has homered in 3 consecutive games and now has a 5-game RBI streak. And John Lackey has a 2-run lead. The thing about the Rizzo home run, you rarely see home run balls that high when they get to the pole. That was a towering shot.
Big strong guys, right? And hit them high and hit them far.
Three and one on Murphy. Without a hit last night, but still came in over 400 his last 7 games, and he doubled and scored in his first at bat today.
He doesn't miss in the strike zone. Very rarely they swing and miss at a pitch in the zone. He doesn't chase that much either. He strike out a lot.
And it hits first base. Murphy is 2 for 2.
So much for Murphy's Law. Working out pretty well for him here today. He's in position to make the play, but right off the pillow.
Seen a home run with a retired jersey flag, and now a base hit off of first. Ball got lodged in the vines last night. Are we going to have a basket controversy before this series is over?
The one last year to hit the yellow rope or line, whatever that is, and sprung back into play.
Yeah, we've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times in the last decade. The general rule, when the basket is in play, if a fly ball bounces up, it's a home run because it goes in and out of the basket. If it bounces down, usually will have hit the part of the basket that is in play, and it's not a home run. But then you have the very rare one that hits that yellow rope. The quirkiness of this ballpark is a big part of its charm. And I would say the same about you, Jimmy Shea.
Hey, thank you very much.
Going outside, 2-2.
Hey, the great Willie Mays celebrating a birthday today, 85 years young for the Say Hey kid.
Happy birthday to one of the all-time greats.
And just a few years younger, our good buddy Larry Anderson also celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to LA.
Fine radio broadcaster with the Phillies.
Unlike Willie, Larry couldn't hit a lick.
A human slider fouled away by Worth. Another quirk about this ballpark that On a rare occasion will come into play. How about the foul lines in the corners? Look how close it is to that side wall. It's taking advantage of all the real estate, isn't it? As Lackey rings up Worth. Number 2,000 for John Lackey.
See David Ross pressing that one into the strike zone a little bit. And ball's going to be thrown out of play. Quite an accomplishment. He doesn't want to deal with it right now. He just wants a new ball and wants to go back to work, but he's going to get a big ovation from these fans.
Going outside to Ramos. Pulled the first 2 pitches off that outside corner.
Trying to get Ramos to try to pull either that breaking ball or sinker away, trying to get him to pull it on the ground so he can get a double play. Need to get back into the count, a little get over hook. Important to be able to command that pitch. Most hitters 2-0, 3-1 are sitting fastball, so you don't have to snap off a great one, but if you can throw for a strike, it's a heck of a weapon.
Is hit in the air out into right center. Hayward early was calling off Fowler, and he's got it. Sunday night, CSN goes one-on-one with Bulls chairman and 2016 Basketball Hall of Fame inductee Jerry Reinsdorf. Don't miss Inside Look Jerry Reinsdorf, presented by Cadillac, premiering Sunday at 7 on CSN Chicago. Shortstop Espinoza with 2 outs. Murphy's still at first. Lackey will throw over. Two and 0. 4 here this weekend, 3 in DC in mid-June. Who knows, maybe an October matchup as well.
Espinosa just a lifetime .229 hitter, but he does have power. 13 home runs last year. He had 17 in 2012, 21 his best year. That was 2011.
And he just got hit again. 3rd time in the series he's been hit by a pitch.
I think they're trying to throw him that same fastball they struck him out with last time. You know, crossfire, try to get some run back to the inside corner. He just didn't get the movement.
Each starter with a hit today. Scherzer's knocked in a run. Oh, and 2.
Scherzer would have hit the ball on a line out to right field again this time. Jason Hayward would have a real good shot at throwing Murphy out at home plate, even with 2 outs.
Gonna happen as Scherzer strikes out. Number 2001 for Lackey, who's got a 4-2 lead in the 4th.
The DraftKings Fantasy Sports Zone, located on the corner of Addison and Sheffield, is your game day headquarters, open hours before the game. The DraftKings Fantasy Sports Zone is a large outdoor space, features live music, and a fully stocked signature Captain Morgan bar. Come out and enjoy this unique experience. Plus, fans with tickets have direct access to Wrigley Field. For more information, visit DraftKingsWrigley.com. Quality baby right there, rocking the bow.
Cubs leading Max Scherzer and the Nationals 4-2. All the runs coming on 3 homers.
Last time we saw Scherzer here was end of May last year, and he was lights out. 7 shutouts, struck out 13, didn't walk a man.
Fastball strike. Red Sox Yankees, they matched up at Fenway last weekend. They're in the Bronx this weekend. Porcello and Pineda later tonight. Dodgers are in Toronto. Kenta Maeda and Marcus Stroman. That'll be a fun matchup. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
See what the Rockies did last night?
Was it 13 in an inning?
13-run 5th inning.
At San Francisco.
Yeah, I saw the score and I said, well, that's Coors Field. And then upon further review,
17-7 win. Matt Cain got cuffed around. He's 0-4.
Peavy's had his struggles. The Giants may seriously consider re-signing Tim Lincecum, depending on what they see at that showcase today.
Pocket foul to left.
The guy who your heart goes out to in that game, was Chris Russin, former Cub, starting for the Rockies. After that 13-run inning, he goes back out there for the bottom of the 5th. Could not finish the bottom of the 5th. Had a 17-3 lead. Didn't qualify for the win.
Baez strikes out. Yeah, that's rough. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on FNB Communications in Wheatland, Iowa.
Now you could say, well, geez, Walt Weiss should have just let him keep going. He still had a 10-run lead. It's Walt Weiss. It's not his job to get his pitchers wins.
It's his job to win.
Yeah. And I guess if you manage in Coors Field, you always have that mindset that no lead is safe.
Ross was late. And a good fastball, 1-1.
Good yet dangerous. I mean, that one caught a big part of home plate too.
Beatons tonight, Cole Hamels, Jordan Zimmerman, the former National. 3-0 versus 5-0. Rangers are in Detroit. Jordan Zimmerman is 5-0 with an .055 earned run average. Tapper to first. Zimmerman underhand. Scherzer had a little trouble finding first. Eventually he did. 2 outs.
Scherzer makes a smart play there by going directly to the bag. A lot of times you'll see guys veer off as if they're going to make a play on the ball and then have to make an adjustment, but he immediately went to the bag, knew Zimmerman was going to be able to make the play on the ball. And a little fancy footwork to make sure he gets the base.
Lackey with 2 outs. Grounded to the shortstop, Espinosa. Cubs go down 1-2-3 for the first time today against Scherzer. Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich, serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Big crowd. Cubs looking for their 5th in a row, and they have a 4-2 lead. Some more major league notes. Jung Ho Kang is back. He is off the disabled list for the Pirates and in their lineup tonight in St. Louis?
Third base?
Yes.
David Freese had been playing a lot of third base and doing a nice job for Clint Hurdle. It will be interesting to see how they utilize Freese going forward. We saw him a little bit at second base the other day in Pittsburgh. We play some first base.
Revere just off the DL. He struck out and lined out. Acquired from Toronto in the Drew Storen deal in January. Hits for average, doesn't walk much, only 4 career home runs and over 2,600 plate appearances. And that is a fair ball backhanded by Rizzo. And he gets it.
Yeah, that's a double possible triple with Revere's speed if Rizzo doesn't snag it. Nice play by the big fella. Revere is what in the old days they would call a punch and Judy. You don't hear that term very much anymore. A slap hitter.
Good speed. Lackey to Rendon. Ball 1. Well, you were here. You were in the booth next door on May 6th, 1998. And Kerry Wood engineered one of the most dominating starts in the history of this game. He was a rookie against the Houston Astros. He did allow 1 hit, struck out 20.
An infield hit. It was the most dominating game I've ever seen, and I've seen a number of no-hitters and a perfect game. So Matt Cain's perfect game where he struck out 16, but still it wasn't as impressive as the 20 strikeout performance. That was a really good Astros lineup, and just the nature of the swings and misses he was getting.
His 5th movement. Career start. The baby-faced kid.
It was one of those games where up here on broadcast row as it started and you saw the action on some of his pitches, there was a lot of eye contact being made going, we got a chance to see something pretty impressive here today.
I think you had hair.
I did. Yeah, that was probably even more impressive. Roger Clemens did it twice. Kerry Wood's the only guy to do it in the National League. Astros team hit 280 that year. They led the National. I believe they led the National League in runs scored.
Yeah, it felt like it didn't matter who was the opposition that day.
Bagwell, Biggio, Derek Bell.
Ball 4.
The Ricky Gutierrez got the hit.
Yep. I guess in some ways the fact he gave up a hit kept all the focus on the strikeouts. Although the no-hitter with 20 strikeouts would, I think, have been stamped as the greatest of all time. No questions asked. Nationals out hitting the Cubs 5-4. They've got the tying run at the plate and a very dangerous guy at the plate. Maybe the most dangerous hitter in the major leagues today. You know, Lackey did not want to walk the guy in front of Bryce Harper. With the wind blowing out.
They're able to lay off that changeup. Yeah, and you could argue, well, just stay away from his power, but there is no away from his power. He has power to all fields. Try to go back upstairs where they got him last time.
Well, David Ross just nailed Rendon, and Harper gets rung up by the third base umpire Vic Carapazza on the swing. So it ends up being a strike him out, throw him out, unique double play.
And once a week from David Ross now. Yes, he did. And yes, he did.
Rizzo have partnered up to help raise funds for the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation. So Bona, the family-owned restaurant group, now the official Italian beef of the Chicago Cubs, and available throughout Wrigley. So the Rizzo way of preparing 3 classic sandwiches. This is the Italian beef. There's the meatball sandwich. There's the Italian beef and sausage combo. For every sandwich ordered the Rizzo way, which means topped with red gravy, mozzarella, and provolone cheese. Yes. Bona will donate a portion of the proceeds to the foundation, which helps patients and families facing the devastating impact of a cancer diagnosis. The goal is to sell more than 250,000 sandwiches throughout the year. And you can order one the Rizzo way at any of Bona's 19 Chicagoland locations at BUONA.com, and they are selling it here at the ballpark, right?
Yeah, they're in all the concessions and the suites.
It's fantastic. Fowler flies out as we start the Cubs' 5th. Well, David Ross.
Yeah, Ross picked off 5 last year, and he was a part-time player. He led the league in catcher pickoffs. He's got 3 already this year. We've seen these guys conspire time and again with this play here. Rizzo just kind of holds his ground close to the base as that base runner gets an aggressive secondary lead. David with the quick feet snaps off a perfect throw.
Ross is the only catcher with more than 1 pickoff so far this season.
Well, you know what makes him so good is he doesn't try it that much. There's some guys that really love to throw behind runners, and they do it all the time, and the element of surprise is gone at that point.
Line shot out in the left center. Jason Hayward ends the over, and he's going to try for 2, and he's safe. Snaps an 0 for 20.
Time he gets to the Scherzer fastball, 94-mile-an-hour heater. On a line towards the gap in left center. No hesitation at all from Hayward. He's sinking 2 the whole way. Revere's quick to the ball, but he doesn't have much of an arm.
Chris Bryant has struck out twice. He's got an 11-game hitting streak, the 4th hitting streak of his young career of at least 10 games. Follow In-Game live on CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm.
We can get Anthony to get together with a bakery or some cookies. Like he's got the Rizzo, so you can have the cereal in the morning.
Right.
You could do the bone of beef. Now we just got to have the Rizzo oatmeal raisin cookie or something too to round it out.
I love it. How about the omelet for breakfast, since you had him as the main ingredient?
Yeah, he's the eggs. Yeah.
You could do the omelet the Rizzo way with red gravy, mozzarella, provolone. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Bottle up the weather today. Just do this over and over and over again.
A nice long run of this would be welcome for sure. Talked earlier about Scherzer and his ability to upset the timing of the base runner by holding the ball a long time, and it affects the hitters too. This game is played with a certain rhythm, and guys get used to the pitcher coming set, and then after a bit of time delivering home, he'll hold it a little bit extra just to upset the flow, if you will, for the hitter as well as the base runner. The challenge is not to upset your own rhythm as a pitcher. We talk a lot about it with Strop with a quick pitch. Scherzer with the way he holds the ball. Just little things that can be difference maker. And these are two guys, Strop and Scherzer, who have plus stuff. So you could argue they don't really need to do that. They got overpowering fastball, good breaking stuff. But if you can do it and still make quality pitches, why wouldn't you?
Two is off the inside corner. Just at the last second.
Perfect pitch, and this time holding the ball a long time again before delivering. You could almost sense Bryant's anxiety there. It's like, is he going to throw or not? And not only does he make a pitch, but he makes an outstanding one on the outside corner.
Rizzo homered in the third. That gave the Cubs the lead. Hayward, bottom of your screen, doubled with 1 out. Now there are 2. And here's the pitch. That news as we check out that home run. Hit the flag, but they could not determine after saying it was a home run whether or not it was in fact foul. So the call stood. I was going to say bad news. Devin Mesoraco, left shoulder surgery. Probably done for the year. Got a torn labrum.
Oh yeah,
rough
it's been
years
a real
for him.
grind for him. He's really emerging too. A couple of years ago, some very big numbers. Had the hip problems last year. Now the shoulder. Hitters count. This time, a little bit later in the ball game, already down 2. Scherzer's going to be very careful with Rizzo with the base open. Even though Zobrist is on deck, and Zobrist obviously seeing it very well these days.
All 4.
Sometimes it's not necessarily whatever we're not going to give in to Rizzo. It's just once you fall behind, you'd rather start with a fresh count as opposed to give in a hitter's count.
Two on for Zobrist. Walk, a homer, 2 runs today. And he drives one to right again. Harper back to the wall. 3-run homer. What a series Ben Zobrist is putting together.
Such a smart player. We talk all the time about his patient approach. But the definition of a quality at bat isn't always seeing a lot of pitches. It's being ready to hit and taking advantage of a mistake. Center cut and gone.
Ford home run replay. 8 RBIs in the series. 2 games in. Not even 2 full games in. 7-2.
Nobody up in the Nationals bullpen. Nobody throwing anyway.
4 homers allowed by Scherzer. That ties his career high. Stella foul. Just foul to right.
Yeah, the wind is blowing out here today, but all the home runs here legit.
Thick. This one will be fair. And it gets by Harper. LaStella around second, on his way to third. He will stand there. It's a triple.
We talked at the outset about it would be up to the left-handed hitters to inflict damage, and indeed they have. He's making it look easy.
Maddox will make a trip to the mound. About the infield today, Rizzo, Zobrist, La Stella. Huge performances at the plate. Javier Baez would like to chip in. He'll bat here with 2 outs and a man on third.
Well, there you go again. Still not through 5 and a starting pitcher approaching 100 pitches.
And a strike.
Not just a starting pitcher, an elite starting pitcher. Really not getting an opportunity to eat my Rizzo away bonus sandwich with all this offense.
Action in the Nationals bullpen. Blake Trinan. This game still has a ways to go, but Cubs up 5. The run differential currently at plus 101. This is their 28th game. Baez strikes out for the 3rd time, but they haven't needed his offense today. Then Zobrist with a 3-run shot, 3rd homer of the series, 8 RBIs. Cubs lead 7-2. Planning your next social gathering? Plan a day or evening at Wrigley Field and enjoy special perks only available inside the ballpark. The Chicago Cubs offer special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more. Visit Cubs.com/groups. Five-run lead for Lackey and a strike on Ryan Zimmerman.
Let me go on the record and say that the Bona beef sandwich is outstanding.
Yeah, very good.
Breathing room for Big John now. And typically, you're going to have to hit your way back against him. He doesn't walk many. Zimmerman, as I mentioned before, has got good power middle of the field, and he's got that long swing, kind of stays extended through the zone. I don't see him hook many balls.
Over but low.
Eight strikeouts for Lackey here today. Season best 11 a couple of starts ago against the Cardinals. Well, he was brilliant that night. 7 shutout, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Diaz looks it in before throwing out Zimmerman.
Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking. And an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
How's your mouth feeling right now?
Got a little heat. Got a little heat going.
Yeah. Strike on Murphy. Major League Baseball has announced that the Pirates Marlins series that had been scheduled at Hiram Bithorn Stadium in Puerto Rico, as Rizzo can't handle that hard hit ball Murphy's on, has been moved to Miami.
Yeah, when we were in Pittsburgh talking to some people over there, that was the indication we were getting that would likely not happen in Puerto Rico.
Is a single, so Murphy's 3 for 3. He had 4 hits 2 days ago. So it's May 30th, 31st. Pirates Marlins moved to Miami.
Well, got to be a little careful here. Now he's gotten Worth both times, struck him out swinging in the second, looking in the fourth. Certainly capable. He's hit 6 home runs this year. Got one last night off Travis Wood in the 9th.
Cubs announced earlier today the makeup dates for the 2 postponements on the last homestand. Braves and Cubs, July 7th. 7:05 first pitch, and it'll be a day-night doubleheader on August 16th against Milwaukee. First pitch of the first game at 12:20. The April 30th game tickets will be honored for the July 7th game. April 27th ticket will be honored for the first game on August 16th. Murphy, with his 3 for 3, is hitting .400 to start the year. Worth went around, and I think he thought that ball was fouled to the dirt, but it was not. So he strikes out for the 3rd time. Let's get a look. No, he caught it.
Yep.
Nine strikeouts for Lackey. Popped up by the catcher Ramos. Baez in center. Makes a catch from the shortstop position. All Cubs today leading 7-2 in the 6th.
Seven to 2 ball game. Cubs lead. Cub fans, join the season ticket holder waiting list. Do it today. Claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. And what a lineup it is. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Blake Treinen out of the Nationals bullpen. After Max Scherzer gave up 7 runs on 7 hits in 5 innings, including 4 homers allowed.
So back in February, the question was, the Nationals' Blake Treinen has hit 100 miles per hour with this pitch that gets its name from its downward motion. And the answer is, what is sinker? It was on Jeopardy.
Ross takes that sinker into right. And he's got 2 to start the 6th.
Does that make it double Jeopardy? You know you have arrived when you're a Jeopardy question or a crossword clue. It's hard to do, throw 100 miles an hour and make it move.
The category was hard-throwing pitchers, and he ended up being mentioned alongside Randy Johnson as part of other questions. Justin Verlander, Ron Guidry, and Nolan Ryan.
He knows one of the producers over there at Jeopardy.
He said he doesn't know anybody over there. And his name did come up. It was double Jeopardy for that question.
Jeopardy researchers was digging around fan graphs. If you ever have a category called salad tossing left-handers, let me know. I'll tune in.
This left-hander's fastball, the same velocity as this right-hander's changeup. Blackie will get a nice hand. That will go 1-4 on the sacrifice.
Yes, people are always appreciative of the sacrifice. It's human nature. it's also a way of letting the people sitting around you that you're a knowledgeable baseball person.
Yeah, if you were new to the game and having it explained to you, you would kind of wonder, why is this guy being cheered for making it out? Couldn't get that one. 1-1.
Pretty nasty slider there to go along with his 100-mile-an-hour sinker.
Ground ball and a base hit. Ross will score. The 2 hits in this inning have come against 96 and then this one on 97. These guys can handle velocity.
Yeah, they're just relentless. They just keep coming at you. That's just the second single of the day for the Cubs. A lot of extra base power tonight. This afternoon, rather. 4 home runs. A couple of doubles.
Both 4-6-3 on an inning-ending double play. Cubs do get another run. It's 8-2.
Can be part of your next event, from birthday parties and corporate outings to wedding receptions and charity events. Clark wants to be invited. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more information on how to bring Clark to your next party.
First pitch strike from Lackey to Espinoza, with the Cubs bullpen busy. 7th inning. Pitch 100 for the starter. Swing and a miss.
Lackey got nicked early. 1-out home run in the first by Rendon. Murphy doubled to lead off the second. He came around to score, but not much since then. Not a whole lot of traffic. Only had one man reach scoring position since the second inning.
Stephen Brew is on deck. And here he comes to the plate after Lackey Just picked up his 10th strikeout.
Most he's had in a game, 12.
Season high of 11. 3 starts ago in St. Louis. There's the veteran infielder Stephen Drew. And a strike.
Birthday greetings. Happy birthday, Jack Langford. Annie loves you. So right here. Good changeup. Happy 27th birthday, Keenan Koch. Love Mom. Don't forget about her tomorrow. And Lester and Lyle Hampton are celebrating their birthday out in the bleachers today.
Hit hard and foul to right.
They are either 24, 74, or 28.
Yeah, that's hard to read.
Happy birthday anyway. I'll go with 28. Didn't get it.
Stephen, one of 3 Drew brothers to play in the big leagues. JD and Tim, his older brothers. And Stephen an infielder, Tim a pitcher, and JD an outfielder. Two balls, 2 strikes. Runs over his head. Lackey to the plate. And the count holding.
Yeah, J.D. Drew last played in 2011. He had a nice career. 278 lifetime hitter, 242 home runs. Made an all-star team. I think when he first came into the league, people were expecting more, but it's a good, solid career.
Could not hold. That is number 11 for Lackey. So he's tied his season high, and as JD mentioned, he's now 1 away from tying his career best.
He's had 12 twice. Most recently, June of 2013.
Max Scherzer had probably his worst start as a national here today. And whether or not it'll be more of a tip your cap day from Scherzer to this Cubs offense, or if he will say, well, I could have helped my own cause, but I didn't do this or that.
You know why he didn't have an answer for the left-handed hitters. He knew going in that was, the Cubs' best chance to do some damage was by the left-handed hitters, and they did. He made some mistakes with his fastball out over the plate.
Down by Lackey to end the inning, and it's time now for the Mazda 7th inning stretch on the big board today.
For this afternoon stretch, please direct your attention to the left field video board.
The stretch. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so we root for the Cubs. They don't win, it's a shame.
34-year-old left-hander Oliver Perez is on. This is his 14th major league season. Again as a starter, Padres and Pirates. Struggled in that role for the most part with the Mets, especially late in his tenure there. And has been a very busy reliever since 2012 with Seattle. Bryant with a ground ball into the shift, picked up by Murphy, close at first, but they got him. So he put a ball in play for the first time, but hits right into the shift.
Yeah, a bit of bad fortune there for the big guy after punching out 3 times. Put a good swing on one, but Murphy well positioned. He was just a kid when he first came to the big leagues in 2002.
Big strikeout pitcher.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, big slider. Never threw all that hard, but deceptive.
He's always walked a lot of guys.
Backed off a little bit and just kind of simplified things. Fastball slider now pretty much all you see from Perez. Lots of arms and legs coming at you.
Yeah, he's got that glove turned almost inside out toward the hitter.
It's the Oliver twist is what it is.
Yeah, right. 1-1. Padres, Pirates, Mets, Mariners, Diamondbacks, Astros, Nationals.
There's the Oliver twist. Ooh, with a little toe tap. Set that to music. I don't think I've seen that one yet. That was special. That was a thing of beauty.
He's doing improv in the Second City.
Not just the twist, but the little toe tap and go.
Ooh. Rizzo walks.
I don't think Rizzo's quite as impressed as I was.
What a day, what a series, what a week for Ben Zobrist. Six times now he's hit 2 homers in 1 game. As that one gets away, and those homers came left-handed, now batting righty.
Pass ball earlier in the game. This should be a wild pitch.
Well, remember last night when Zobrist hit the home run, you said we handed out the Benny's toast to the game too early to Kyle Hendricks. We're going to make it up to Ben today.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he had such a big day. He's like, I deserve that Benny's toast of the game. What is going on?
Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
With the tip of the cap to Tommy La Stella as well, both last night and this afternoon. He too has been on fire.
Rio pitch. It's a strike. Ball 4 gets away. Rizzo will advance to third. It's a pass ball. Here comes Mike Maddox.
Action in the Nationals bullpen. That'd be Yusmeira Petit. It is. Dusty Baker's got balance out there in the bullpen. He's got 4 right-handers, 3 lefties. A couple of those lefties we saw in the ball game last night could really rush it up there. Closer's Jonathan Papelbon.
A lot of Cubs Nationals connections. Former Cub and coach Chris Spire back in uniform. The bench coach, he was out of uniform for a couple of years and kind of decided nobody was going to call. And then the next day he got a call from Dusty. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So that was a good mound visit from Mike Maddox. But the Cubs lead 8-2.
Today's CSN Bar of the Game, presented by Coors Light, is the Boundary Tavern and Grill. To see the complete list of the CSN Bars of the Game, presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com.
Cubs trailed this game 2-0 in the second. They have scored the last 8 runs. Then Zobrist putting together a National League Player of the Week type performance here these last 3 days. And here's Clayton Richard in for John Lackey.
Clayton worked a third of an inning in the ball game last night. It was the first time we'd seen him in quite some time. Came in, faced one man, struck him out. Justin Grimm is loosening in the bullpen.
Strike called to Rendon. Zobrist. One out. Kind of forget at one point Bryce Harper was a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Ball 1. That is GED after his sophomore year of high school. He was a young college player to Community College of Southern Nevada.
Better question is, why do you have those biggies? Why do you have a Roy?
Every sport has its can't miss people, you know, teenagers, and Bryce Harper was that guy, and they don't always work out. They do miss. Well, he didn't.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, a lot of times they miss because of just the mental part of the game, or can't handle the rigors of it. It's interesting though, you know, he was the next big thing, and then Mike Trout came along as the next big thing and kind of passed up Harper, and was the guy everybody identified as the best player in baseball. But I think you get a pretty lively debate now with what Harper has done.
Yeah, he was Baseball America's #1 prospect before he ever played a minor league game.
Didn't they put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was a teenager?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. And he was the first high school athlete to be on SI's cover since LeBron James 7 years prior. Got into that tussle with his teammate near the end of last year, Jonathan Papelbon. Eventually they made up. Papelbon apologized. And Zimmerman, a strikeout victim of Clayton Richard. 2 outs. How do you get to Wrigley Field? The Cubs suggest taking public transportation. The Cubs offer a free bike check. Now located near the Addison Red Line Station. For drivers, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide on Cubs.com. Foul strike on Murphy. He's been a bright spot for the Nats today. He's 3 for 3 to up his batting average to 400.
Going to be calling him Danny Ballgame here before long.
Our staff's pretty good. Look at that. 2009. Tom Verducci's feature. Baseball's chosen one.
That's right. He pitched too. Got him at 96 miles an hour.
Remember Cole Hamels hit him on purpose? Admitted that he hit him on purpose just to kind of give him a welcome to the show moment. Just under the glove of Baez. 2 on for the Nationals.
Well, another 4-hit day for Murphy. My goodness. Just off the end of the glove. I don't know if there was going to be anything he could do with it. That's the new improved Harper too. The guy who's been in the league a little while now, dropping Enke there at second base. I think when he first came up, he would have tried to run to third there, even though his team was down 6 runs.
Time for a change on the mound. Justin Grimm is in. I'll tell you about this right-hander when we come back. His tire and auto service pitching change, and here's Justin Grimm.
Well, last night, Richard and Grimm combined to pitch the 7th inning. Here they're going to get the 8th. Richard got 2 outs. Grimm on to get the final one. These boys done a heck of a job. 9 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks, just 6 hits allowed. It's a comfortable lead, 8-2. But if Worth were to ride one out of here, all of a sudden it would be far less comfortable, and that's why Joe decided to make the move for the hard-throwing right-hander. So Richard got the righties he faced, but didn't get the left-handed hitters. But the mitigating circumstances are the left-handed hitters were Bryce Harper and Daniel Murphy.
The 2 best hitters.
Yeah, and one's an MVP, and the other one's hitting 400.
406 to be exact. Murphy began the day at 382. 2 on, 2 down, and the pitch to Worth is at the bottom of the zone for a strike.
Justin Grimm, not exactly the guy a right-handed hitter wants to face after having struck out 3 times already. They'll deal with 95 and one of the better curveballs in the game. John Lackey today, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts.
Two and 1 on Worth, who's always had a good eye at the plate. Drills it into the left field corner. Harper scores. Murphy around third. He will score. 4 knocked in this series for Worth on a couple of extra base hits. And it's 8-4.
Saves his best for last, doesn't he? 0 for 3 last night before homering in his final at bat. You know, after striking out 3 times, a 2-run double.
Those runs charged to Clayton Richard.
Here comes the Wizard of Boz.
For Ramos bats.
So many weapons out there in that bullpen now. I think, you know, last year maybe Justin Grimm's not in this game because Joe would want to make sure he was available to go tomorrow. But with Adam Warren throwing the ball the way he is, I mean, just you can mix and match. Got a lot of options.
Almost 1 out of 7 so far in the series. Singled in the second today, and he crushes one, and that one will leave the yard. 2-run homer, 8-6.
So much for that comfortable lead, and Ramos likes to hack at that first pitch. May or may not have been the message delivered by Chris Bosio, but whatever. And that fastball just leaked on Justin. That's the one to Worth too was meant to be out and it drifted down, and then this time trying to go away, and it runs back over the middle of the plate.
Ford home run replay. Number 3 for Ramos. Trevor Cahill now up.
His bullpen has been awfully good. They have not had many bad innings.
2 strikes on Espinoza. Strike 3. The Nationals have clawed their way back with 4 runs. And it's now 8-6 Cubs in the 8th. Let's check out the Cubs' upcoming game schedule and pitching probables, brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Plan your fun today at travelwisconsin.com. Gonzalez, Hamill tomorrow, Roark, Arrieta. Look at all the low ERAs.
235, the highest of the bunch.
Strike on Javier Baez from Sean Kelly. Second appearance in as many days to start this series.
Yeah, he's been awfully good. 13 punch-outs, 1 walk, and 8 2/3.
Gave up an Anderson Russell RBI double last night before striking out Tim Fedorovich to end the 8th inning.
Guy who probably figured he was going to have a day off about 15 minutes ago.
Got the final out in a non-save spot last night. The Cubs were able to add on. They were leading by a couple going into the 8th. Got 3 runs, 2 on the Zobrist homer and then the Russell double.
Kelly likes that slide ball. It's a put-away pitch for him.
And the line's right to Murphy, the second baseman. You wonder why teams shift? That's why.
His day pretty much the same as Bryant's. Chris struck out 3 times, hit the ball sharply up the middle, turned into an out. Baez hits it right on the screws after 3 punch outs. But once again, Murphy perfectly positioned to make the play. That's why such an emphasis on base and slugging. Work a lot of walks, hit the ball out of the ballpark. Those 2 events are shift proof.
Correct.
Unless you can start positioning outfielders in the bleachers, which would be kind of fun.
The 0-1 is popped into shallow center. Murphy on the back pedal.
Follow Cubs baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Jorge Soler. Ooh. Feel the breeze up here. Kind of felt good today.
Might have to unbutton that top button. Soler has not had a lot of playing time lately, but I think before all is said and done, he will be heard from. He's going to have to wait his time.
Two and two. Guessing we might see Jorge in the lineup tomorrow. Potentially against the left-hander Gonzalez. We'll see. Called strike 3. It was off the inside edge, but that's the way it's gone here lately for Soler. So it's Rondon in the ninth trying to close out a 2-run ball game. Hefty home runs. 3 straight days for Ben Zobrist.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and another one here today. 2 on the afternoon for Zorilla. Not a lot of dramatic finishes for the Cubs this year. You see Rondon has 4 saves and 4 tries. That's not a lot for a team that's won 21 ball games. He's got an ERA of 0.96.
Pinch hitter for the Nationals is Chris Heisey.
Heisey, I mean, really good at this job. Outstanding pinch hitter in his career.
Yeah, early too. Oh, 2 to Heisey. Chat with John Hirschbeck. Revere, Rendon, and if anybody reaches Harper, he would represent the tying run. So 1, 2, 3 would be nice.
Rendon has been very aggressive this year. Throws first pitch strikes about 80% of the time. Boom.
Called strike 3.
He's got a bit of a point, but John Hirschbeck's had a fairly wide zone today. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 of the game's hottest pitchers get after it here at Wrigley. Jason Hamill and his 1.24 ERA up against the lefty Gio Gonzalez. He's got a 1.15. Coverage begins at 2:30 right here on CSN Chicago. Don't miss it. J-Ham.
That one doesn't flow quite as well as some other nicknames, but we'll make it work. 1-0 on Revere. Ground ball, Zobrist. 2 down. 39,206 packed into Wrigley Field today.
And they will stand as one and pull for Rondon to get Rendon.
Nothing in 1. Nothing in
2. 2 outstanding pitches to start the at-bat. Fastball right on the corner, and then a little strike the ball slide piece.
Here it is. Swing and a miss. Ross will fire to Rizzo. Cubs win. Cubs win their 5th in a row. They've won 22 of their first 28.
Save number 5 for Hector, and as per usual with him lately, drama free. 3 up, 3 down. What a day for Zobrist. Tommy La Stella. Big Riz goes deep. John Lackey with his 4th win. Kind of atypical. The Cubs have been able to run away and hide in so many of their games, but credit the Nationals for making some noise late and making it interesting.
Never gets old. That W flag will fly once again. Cubs now 9-3 at home to go with their 13-3 road record. They've got a full 7-game lead over the Pirates, who will play in St. Louis later this evening. Great weather day. Temperatures in the mid-70s. And the Cubs offense took advantage of that.
Yeah, and they took it to Max Scherzer, one of the best pitchers in the game, and got in for 7 runs in 5 innings.
Let's go down to Kelly Kroll.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Well, Anthony, there that second time around against Scherzer, you really got a hold of that ball, your 11th home run of the year. How did it feel coming off the bat? Walk us through it, and then what you saw is, of course, it went out to right field there.
Just fastball inside. I got inside of it, and luckily it stayed fair. I don't know how, but during the review, during the challenge, it was nerve-wracking. So, but it was a nice win for us overall. Zobrist swinging the bat well, all of us, and it was a nice win.
I was just going to say, what can you say about the guy hitting right behind you in the lineup right now? His last 3 days have been something else.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and that's what our lineup's all about. It's guys are going to get hot and cold, and we're just going to feed off it, and got a good start out of Lackey, and we held on there.
I know you guys will tell me you're just playing great baseball, but for the last 5 games that you've won, it's against 2 of the better teams in the National League. What are you learning about this team when you face some of the best competition out there?
I think we're just playing, like I said, and we know what we can do. So it's more about just going out and proving ourselves right every day, and bringing it every single day.
Okay, so the Rizzo Way sandwich debuted this afternoon at the ballpark. Lynn and JD gave it the thumbs up. Did you have anything to do with that recipe? What do you think of it?
Yeah, of course, with the mozzarella on there and the sauce. So it's the way I like it. So hopefully everyone liked it.
Awesome. Well, and all proceeds go to your foundation. Anthony, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Big win today, Anthony Rizzo, and of course the Cubs move to 22-6, guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Nicely done. And we will have game 3 of this series tomorrow. Our pregame coverage starts at 2:30 Central Time. Cubs hosting the Nationals. Final score, Cubs 8, Nationals 6. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next.